so many years, for over 20 years, who's been teaching of relationship, connecting people, and doing a whole lot. In fact, if you listen to his, I think, Love Zone on radio, it has changed so many lives. I mean, so many lives. So many homes have been joined together. People have found direction. Even in programs, physical programs like this, a lot of people have been connected. Today, fortunately or unfortunately, this is my first time to be in a program where men are more than women. Amazing. Amazing. But we are still expecting the ladies to come because surely they will come.
Sure.
So while we wait for them to come, we are going to continue. And so it's my privilege and honor to present to you Freshman Jane. The next voice we're going to be hearing is thanks. Okay. Okay, I want to welcome everybody. It's very I want to listen to the people. It's not to change the whole world. I mean by changing the whole world, everybody in the world is you definitely can't reach everybody in the world. But in the course of trying to reach you, definitely have one or two people that you're gonna touch his or her life. So this is what we do for a living. And for years we've been talking about love, but love. Yes, it's been there even before we were born. But at the point we discover that for love to actually work, without money, it cannot work effectively. And as much as our training, our teaching, growing up, we tend to understand, and especially some of us who are Christians, that if you're a Christian, if you love someone, it doesn't matter whether if you can get married. Well, we discovered that so many people actually entered without perspective and discovered that it cannot work. Our major interest is many Christian homes are in trouble today. So many Christian homes are in trouble because sometimes we just take teachings of people who can sing and then we accept everything and we'll go by that. By the time we get to a certain level, we discover that, look, it's not it. It's not it because they say that their experience is the best teacher. So that's why some of the things we have learned, we are doing everything possible to unlearn them, unlearn some of these things, and then learn things with the time. You know, our forefathers got married, and they have the reason for getting married during their own time. For instance, some of our forefathers, their major reason for getting married was that they needed someone that will help them give birth to children. They also need sex and they need food. That's why those days, if you see a guy cooking, you just get people say, "Oh, guy, it's time you marry, this time you're cooking. It's time you get married, something like that, you know. But that is their own time. And the truth is that that time to eat was actually very difficult because the process of making food was quite difficult. Most of their foods were processed, taking longer time. In fact, in my village, I think it's actually contradicts tradition for a man to prepare fufu by himself. Processing it from the root. It's actually against the tradition. So that time, a man doing food was absolutely very, very difficult, if not impossible. Unlike now, where you can just get indomie, get noodles, put hot water, and then boil it, the food is ready. Unlike now, where you have restaurants here and there, it is just take out in your house and you eat. You can even make a phone call, get a number from the internet, make a phone call, and the food company brings food. So a lot of things have changed. The reason why our forefathers married, and many of them actually married so many wives, and it worked for them. It may not work now because there are so many reasons why it cannot work now. Their reason for getting married then had been defeated. Food is no longer a problem. If you have money, food won't be a problem. Number two is many of them married because of sex, because then to have sex was a big deal, you know, because these are intercommunal like need. You cannot talk to somebody's daughter and say, hey, I want to marry you, I want to have sex with you. It's not possible. If you do a thing like that in a community where you live or where you come from, they are going to knock their guns and invite everybody thinking that you're mad. Such thing doesn't happen there. But today, sex is not a big business anymore. It's not a big deal. Even someone who doesn't have money can actually afford to have sex because I think people even live in houses where you can go have sex with them and walk away. Next time, if you see them, you not recognize them after. So sex is not that expensive anymore. So and this happened to be one of the major reasons why this guy is married. And a lot of people were saying, when you hear people they say that I've married so many wives, they never have problems with them. You know. Yes, our forefather had many wives, and the reason why many of them had many wives was because of the fact that you can have sex. Just the way guys desire sex from different women now, they also desire sex from different women. Or for you to have sex with any woman, you must marry her first. And the cost of marriage then wasn't that expensive. It was absolutely not expensive. It was this cheap. They don't need to have a lot of money. Just bring keg of wine, go to the girl's father without even approaching the girl. You just tell the girl's father, I throw an apple in your house. I want to plug it, and you're going home with a girl. So it is no longer like that now. But the fact is not about the time then and now. The fact is, what is God's purpose for marriage? Why do we marry? What is the reason for marriage? The Bible says that when God created Adam, he looked at him and said, that he's lonely, that he needs a companion, and he took a leave from him. So the major reason why God created woman was a companion. The major reason why we marry is to have a companion. When I married my wife 10 years ago, I got married. The first issue problem we had was that after our wedding, we went to hospital and they said that my wife has the hormone of a man, that she cannot give birth. And I told the doctors who are not giving us the right information. We traveled to Germany, went to a hospital in Germany, and confirmed the same thing, that her level of hormonal imbalance was that much that it's impossible for her to have a child, you know. But because I so much believe in what the Word of God says, then if you touch her breast, nails come out from her breast, she wasn't pregnant. So it was a very serious matter. We started praying about it, and we continued. Sometimes when my wife come out, like people will look at her, this elderly women will say, you are pregnant, congratulations. We go to the hospital and say, there's nothing there. So my wife was that bothered, but I wasn't actually bothered. I just told myself, it's even possible to adopt a baby. We don't have anyone. So we tried all of the hospitals, from high-tech professionals, and it was even when we stopped in the hospital, my wife took in, we had our first son, and after my first son, another one was done within and third time is so the point is that I have a low stem count, you know, was up to the hospital just continue to live a normal life. We had our daughter after 5 years, and then we now continue having children. We have three now. So what I'm saying is that my reason for getting married was merely to have children. I would have divorced when we were told she cannot have a child, because when I married my wife, the day I proposed to my wife, she told me point blank that she started seeing her missing when she was 14. But at 16, it stopped. And since then, she hasn't seen her menses. But she hasn't had sex. I was the first man to meet her as a man. So I wasn't bothered about that. They got married and started having that challenge. But the Lord helped us to overcome it. But the truth is that I was not looking at some of the things. And the major reason is I found someone I love and that companion was just important. Then we switched and we started being together, and the Lord actually blessed us with children. So when we are getting married, look at what I'm trying to bring out from here. That the major reason for getting married is that companion. And before you marry someone, you need to find somebody who actually can give you that companion. And a lot of times people think that companion is somebody staying with you. No, you can be with someone and you are lonely. There are lots of married people who are lonely today. Not because they don't have anybody with them, but because they're just lonely. Um, there are people, because of the fact that they are lonely, you discover that a man and a woman is lying on the same bed, but they are not together. The woman is closer to somebody who is even abroad than her husband who is lying in the same bed. As sometimes you see people, they are with their partner, they are chatting on someone else on social media. They're chatting on WhatsApp, they're telling someone I love you. But their partner is right there with them. Now, your partner is physically with them. So physically they are very close, but emotionally and spiritually they are far away from each other. But that person who is not physically far from the person is now the one that is very close to them. It happens in so many marriages. So it is this physical disconnection, emotional disconnection that may linger to a point where one person may start saying, "I don't want to continue with this marriage again." So when we talk about companionship has nothing to do with physical presence of somebody. Companionship has to do with someone who shares the same passion with you, someone who thinks alongside you, someone who laughs at what you laugh at, someone who likes what you like. That's why so many times many Christians make mistake in marriage. I'll tell you one thing. Now you smoke. You're someone who cannot stay without smoking for one day. And you like going to club. And now you want to marry and your mother is not telling you, hey, come back to the village. There is this girl. She's our church member. She follows her mother to the church. And she's this nice girl, Nazuli also. You understand? But you a club star for God's sake. You like clubbing. You don't stay at home at night. Did you see that? So now you now marry that person who is a well-trained girl, a decent girl, who doesn't understand what club is all about. She doesn't like smoke at all. But maybe because her parents had convinced her that you have good family background, she decided to just accept you to marry you. By the time you marry her and you leave her, you're going to club, you're coming back, it will get to a point where she will start feeling lonely. And maybe somebody comes in, and social media has made it in a way that people can be in a room and still not be lonely because someone is keeping them company all the way from abroad, all the way from the interstate, or from the community. So the person now goes to social media. She posts a picture and she's going back to check how many people drops like for her. Someone who says like, someone says love, someone will comment, baby, you're beautiful. And because you now, as the guy who is marrying her, doesn't have time for those kind of compliments, it's not a man thing for you. You're not a romantic kind of person. You can be romantic. There are people, you see them, you think they are not romantic. But when they find a girl who is not their wife, you see that they are crazy when it comes to being romantic. There was a time I was driving, then I think we were just months in marriage. So I was driving and I noticed that one of my tire, the car tire had gone flat. And this is the worst thing I can do. I'm too lazy when it comes to, changing tire. Otherwise, I drive it like that. So I noticed it and where we were going in, if I have to drive it like that, we'll get stuck on the way. So I cleared, I put I put the car and I told my wife, we're gonna try something tonight. Because evening, we're gonna try something tonight. My wife said, what's that? I said, okay, I'm gonna bring the jack. And this car is heavy car, formatic. Mercedes, they have heavy body. So even pulling the thing, I'm sure I won't be able to do that. So now I told my wife, we're gonna try something. My wife said, what's that? I said, you know what you do? I'll give you jack. I'll bring down spare tire. I'll give you all the things you need. You just stand here, do as if you're bringing out the tire. I'm going to hide there. I hope someone stops to help us. Trust me, a miracle happened. So I just hit myself, and all of a sudden, these guys were four of them, two in front, two at back seat, and they pulled. I said, oh, baby, sorry, who helped you? I was praising the Lord from my bush. And it was amazing how God performed that miracle. You know, these guys, they brought out the tire, they fixed the tire, and they even told my wife, thank you. And they requested for her number. I was giving her signal, give them number. They've done something that worth giving them phone number. Is it not phone number? And my wife gave them phone number. And they called. My wife said, yes, I'm home. My husband would want to say thank you. And my wife gave me phone. I said, you guys are perfect gentlemen. The Lord bless you. They don't call again after that. We were expecting their calls. We never got anyone. You see that? So there are people, you think they are not romantic, but they are truly crazy when it comes to romantic. The truth is that they are not romantic to this girl, but to this other girl, they are dead in romance. So what we are trying to do is to put the energy, instead of being romantic to someone who's not your wife, or someone who you're not dating, or someone that you're going to marry, instead of not being romantic to the person you want to marry, we'll ensure you put that energy, we'll try to shift it so that you can go to someone. If you smoke, look for a girl that likes. If you marry her when it's time for smoke, maybe after putting the children to bed, you have a special room for your ganja. I say, baby, the time has come. And the two of you will enter the ganja house. We'll find this kind of local music or reggae music, and while you are pushing, you are dancing. Don't you think that marriage will be a perfect one? But a situation where this other person doesn't like it, but you like it, then you're doing it. You're a bad boy, you want to marry a good girl. It will not work. It will not work. You are born again, but you're seeing a beautiful girl, and you know this girl is not actually, but she's fine. You decide to marry her. It will not work also. That's the truth about it. So one thing we are trying to do is to shape our minds so that your mind can go to where you can have rest of mind if you're married. If you like club, you can go to club. There are beautiful girls there. Toast one, gradually marry her, so that even if she's pregnant, she can give birth right in there, and even your child will like to go to club. And not you're a club star, you want to marry someone who sings in the choir. This is what we want. So what I'm saying here is we are building people and we are building them on individual basis. So that tomorrow by the time you're married and you're happy in your marriage and we are coming for a program like this, you can tell someone, this is where I found my wife. This is where I changed my mind to do the right thing. Now, the first and the most important thing every young person must do when it comes to getting married. Number one is the first thing you do is to marry yourself. Marry yourself. How do you marry yourself? Take care of yourself outside and take care of yourself inside. You know, being healthy is not ability to go about your business. Being healthy is checking every area of your life. Someone who has ear problem can walk. If you don't conversate with a person, you will conclude the person is healthy. And the mechanism of human biology is something that you cannot visualize physically with your physical eyes. So what we do is because we have seen cases of people who get married and they stay without children for so many years. So what we do is we advise them now that you are single. I wrote a book. The title of that book, I think I have some copies in the car in the hotel room. The title of that book is Now That You Are Single. So now that you are single, the first thing you need to know is to check yourself, whether you're a guy, whether you're a lady. If you're a lady, make sure that even before you fall in love with anybody, you must, it's important, very, very important, you must know your genotype. Don't take it for granted. Know your genotype. Don't try one hospital, try second, try third one, and be sure you know your genotype. That's number one. Number two is know your blood group. The reason why we tell people to know their blood group is not that you cannot marry anybody regardless of blood group, but there is what we call rhesus factor. This rhesus factor can keep somebody barren and make husband and wife not to have children. Now, this rhesus factor has to do with two different blood groups that cannot match as husband and wife, but they can actually marry. And the reason is that you need to have why lots of people who have this current that don't have children is because of lack of awareness. They are not aware. For instance, if you marry a girl that your blood and her blood doesn't match, let's take for instance this girl has the negative and she was pregnant before you met her, but she did abortion and she didn't tell you that she did abortion. Now, when she did that abortion, then there are, what do you call it? There are some, I don't know, I'm just trying to find a word for it in the biology, but I didn't just try to use organism. Now, these organisms, I just want to use that because I can't find a word, biological word for it. What it does is to fight sickness. What it does is to fight bacteria. Anything you consider harmful to your body, it fights it. So as soon as the girl gets pregnant, that is when she activates that particular organism in her body. So by the time she does abortion, she has helped the organism to even understand that anything coming as a child is a threat. So maybe you now marry her without being aware. If she gets pregnant again, that organism that has been activated will kill the baby. After some time, you hear that there was miscarriage. She gets pregnant again, the baby gets miscarried again. Because of what? Because that animal is fighting whatever is coming, is seen as threat. But in a situation where you are aware, even if she has had abortion or she hasn't, as soon as she gets pregnant, or even before getting pregnant, she goes to hospital and she takes an injection. That injection renders that organism or whatever it is impotent, powerless, not to be able to harm the baby. The next time when she's pregnant, she takes it again, or after giving birth, she takes it again. Now, this type of blood group that even the breast of the woman becomes poison to the baby. A situation where you are not aware, as soon as after giving birth to the baby, If the woman feeds the baby dies of poison from the breast. So that's why, as a young person, you need to know about yourself. As a young woman, you take yourself to hospital, see a gynecologist, conduct a test, conduct analysis on yourself, and find out whether you have hormonal imbalance. Now, hormonal imbalance is what makes a woman not be able to conceive at that particular time. It can be managed, it can be treated, but when you are not aware of it, you'll be going around the circle. There are people who have hormonal imbalance, they actually ovulate, but it's fake ovulation. And this fake ovulation also looks like it's real. So when the woman, some see their menses, some don't see their menses at all. So by the time she needs to have a child, she won't be able to have a child, and it becomes a problem. So now that you are single, if you go to hospital and discover that you're having such problem, you start treating it now. The reason why treating it now is better is because of the fact that you are not desperate. You're not trying to have a child now. But you know, if you're already married, you see your mother-in-law, you see your mother telling you, we are waiting for you now. What's holding you? We've not heard anything. Telling your wife, your stomach is still the way it used to be. What happened? Or now, or something like that. So that will make you worry. And worry is another way of even eliminating the treatment you are taking. So now, as a single person, you go to some of these things, they are not expensive at all. You go to hospital and then carry out these hormonal analysis to find out whether you have hormonal imbalance or not. Even if you've had a baby before, that's what we call secondary barrenness. Somebody that had a baby before may not be able to have again. The reason is this: after a woman had given birth, she grows fats in her body. Now, some of these fats can cover this hormonal imbalance. That's why some people, even after giving birth, the people at a stage in their life, they don't desire sex again because the hormone for sex, which is endorphin, after probably giving birth or after they had added weight, the fat in their body may start contradicting this hormone, and ability to give birth or desire sex becomes a problem for them. That's why, as a young person, once in a while, find anything that will help you exercise your body. One of the ways to treat hormonal imbalance is exercise. It is not 100% for everybody, but exercise helps you to balance your body because the more you are shedding weight, the more you are exercising yourself, you're helping these hormones to also balance in your body and you are good to go. So while you're getting treatment, you can also add exercise to it for the ladies. And for the guys, there is what we call low sperm count. Low sperm count. Now, low sperm count could be caused by anything. The kind of food you eat. That's why if you're a young man, you don't have children, you are advised to reduce intake of alcohol. Now, alcohol, and the problem with alcohol is not just the alcohol. The problem with alcohol in Nigeria is that 90% of alcohol in this country is fake. So it's not just that you're taking alcohol, it's that you're taking fake alcohol. You're taking fake alcohol. That's the problem. So now, when you're taking too much of alcohol and probably fake one, it may reduce your sperm count to whatever level. There is no problem with low sperm count. Where you have problem is no sperm count. There are people that have none at all. So when there is not there, it's not there. That's the only people that their own, only God can handle it. But if you have low sperm count, even if you don't take drugs, but you are aware that you have it, you start eating well, take good diets, eat fruits, eat vegetable, it can balance or it can increase it. Better still, take medications, but you must avoid alcohol, especially at that point where you're trying to boost it. By the time you have boosted it, you go back to the hospital and confirm that yes, that something has increased. And then if you want to, not as if you cannot take alcohol at all, but there are people that take more alcohol than the water they drink. If you give them one bottle of water, say, "Give them mama water flavor," and it's too big, but give them 3 bottles of beer. Wow. And when you now check the quantity of the beer and quantity of water, you notice that the quantity of beer is much more than the quantity of water. So you're expected to take even more water than maybe whatever alcohol. And alcohol, especially beer, I don't even encourage people to take beer. And then they should maybe champagne, original one, or red wine, just a sip of it is fine for you. If possible, don't take at all. So this is a fundamental knowledge you need to have about yourself as you prepare for marriage. Now, let us tell ourselves the truth. It is true that our growing up, we are taught that if you love a man, just marry him. Love is important. But the truth of the matter is that it is not actually like that in the real sense. No woman can love a man who cannot feed her, especially when the woman cannot feed herself. You know, when a woman is hungry, the percentage of her love reduces to the lowest level. That's why some people are married today, but their neighbors are actually the one marrying their wife. You know. So what I'm saying is love is important when it comes to marriage, but love is just about 30%. People who married for just love ended up leaving the marriage. Love is good, but finance is very, very important. It's very, very important. But we live in a society whereby when you see a girl who who decide to reject a rich guy and now marry a very poor guy, people will say, ah, this is true love. This one is true love. You see, accepting someone because he is poor does not necessarily mean it's true love. Or staying with someone that the person is poor does not necessarily mean it's true love. It's suffering. That is what it is. I'm not saying that one cannot be with somebody who is poor, but there is what we understand to be poverty. What we understand to be poverty is that you don't have you don't have the means to have. You are not looking for the means to have, and you don't have possibility of having. That is what we consider as poverty. If it's about the money, we know that someone who has 1 million today can have 500 million tomorrow, depending on the person, how hard and how willing and how is the person. It's not someone who sleeps at home every day, every night. Bob Bet Niger, Babi Jebu, hoping and believing that one day he will win 12 million. The picture you did 12 million. They go back there for my bet, hoping that one day he's gonna win 10 million. No, it's not it. That person cannot actually succeed. I'm not saying that people don't make money from that. I've not seen someone who did, but I'm just saying that as a lady, when you want to get married, there is difference between love and pity. That you pity someone does not necessarily mean that you must marry the person. And as a lady also, when you want to get married, I want you to understand that being ready. is more important than being in love. I want you to also understand that it is better to marry someone who is ready and willing to make a home than to marry someone who is in love. Now, I will explain some things. Also, for the guys, there are girls you don't marry. There are girls you don't marry. See the girls that believe that one will sleep only up. They don't make money. They don't believe a woman should make money. All they want is eat money. You send her 10 million today, tomorrow she doesn't have kobo in her bank account again. You send her 50 million, give her 1 year, that money comes to zero. If you marry such person, it will take the grace of God for you to succeed in life. There are girls that we call party girls. These party girls, a program like this, they won't come. But when they hear that whiskey is coming, they'll sleep in the venue 3 days before whiskey comes. They are party people. They want to go to club every night. They want show 247. That's what they want. You don't marry such girl. She cannot make a home if you're a girl, a guy. There are girls you don't marry. There are girls that when you see them, you think they are governor's children, but you know their father and their house is even leaking water in the unit where their parents are staying. But somebody whose father's house is leaking water is using a phone of 1.9 million. If you marry such person, it becomes a problem. Because number one is that if you want to grow wealth, you need to marry somebody who is willing to also grow wealth. The person may not actually know how to grow wealth at that point in time, but the person is willing to learn how to grow wealth. Or at least you marry someone who is willing and ready to learn how to keep wealth. Another thing is when you want to marry, look for your size. Look for your size. There was a time I opened, I used to have a shop in ShopRite. Then I think that was 2017 when we import shoes. We're importing shoes from Italy. But these guys that fake shoes from China couldn't allow us to continue because when you import shoes from Italy, the shoe is quite expensive and somebody copied it from China, people find it difficult to know the difference. So when you say the price of your own, they snap it, go inside or Chanja market, and they say they have seen the same shoe without seeing the difference. So one of the days I was in ShopRite, I was in that shop and somebody came in and was like, I like this shoe. Because then we sell just designers. I like this shoe. What's the size? The sales girl told the man is 45. Sorry, 43. But the man said that his size is 45. But that shoe was just one pair. The shoe doesn't have another pair. Was the designers, they don't come in bulk that much. Sometimes 2 pairs, 3 pairs. So the man couldn't let the shoe go. The man came back again, picked the shoe. This shoe. All of a sudden, the man said that the shoe will expand. When he started wearing it, that the shoe is going to expand. So he paid for the shoe and he left. After about 2 weeks or three, the man was carrying a polythene bag and he was limping. And he walked into the shoe. Funny enough, I was there that day too. I was just talking with someone who bought shoes and the man came in, God, do you remember me? I said, no, I don't know. I don't know. Then I'm the one that bought that shoe now, the one, okay, I now remember. I said the one that said it will expand. Then has it expanded? The man now carried the bag, gave to the sales girl and said, this shoe. The shoe actually tabi moku. Unule unanyama ego mune keep it. You know, when you want to marry your size. If that man had bought 45, he wouldn't have come back. That's why there are girls who are very beautiful. When you see them, you want to marry them today. But if you eventually marry them, the next day you're taking her back to her father. Physically, she is beautiful, but marriage is beyond beauty. In as much as me, I can marry a girl that is not beautiful actually. So I'll look for the one that has what I want and is also beautiful because that beauty is important too, you know. But if you're looking for every woman actually is beautiful, it depends on the angle you like as a guy, you know. So, but the most important thing is go for your size. If you go for size that is bigger than you can work with it. If you go for the size that is smaller than you cannot work with it also. What do I mean? Well, take for instance, someone who drives Volvo, this old Volvo, and someone who drives maybe Formatic, for instance. Now, the both of them are drivers, am I right? The both of them are car owners. The both of them has driving license. The both of them go to mechanic. The both of them enter filling station. The both of them change oil. But the quality of the oil they change are not the same. One who is driving Formatics using synthetic. The other one can even use oils that somebody removed from the car and put in his car, and the car will still go. Are you getting it? Now, for the fact that this other person driving Volvo, nothing reduces him from being a driver. He can overtake the Formatic even on the road. I don't know if you are making sense. And the person driving that Formatic will not say, because I'm driving Formatic, therefore I can be on your own lane. You must allow that person be on his lane. Are you getting it? So now the question is when it comes to maintenance, that's where the difference is. The person driving that Volvo can use 4,000 and change oil. For the one driving Formatic had to use synthetic oil. I think it's 87,000 now for 4 liters. And Formatic takes 8 liters. But the one driving Volvo buys 4 liters of just any local oil and he can use it and he will still move the car and everything functions properly. So it's about maintenance. When you want to marry, you marry someone you can maintain. As you are growing your wealth, if it gets to a level of Formatic, you upgrade. But somebody who is growing wealth doesn't need to leave Volvo and marry Formatic. Because if you marry Formatic instead of marrying Volvo, you discover that the money you are supposed to use to grow that wealth, you may end up using it to maintain the Formatic that you are not up to. And if, for instance, the Formatic knocks engine on the way, you won't be able to buy the engine. But if Volvo knocks engine, you make a call immediately and you get another engine. So before you marry, you need to look at someone at your level. One man said, marry who you can carry. There are people, there are girls that just take them out. For instance, this is weekend and you just take the girl out just today. After taking her out, you'll be the one telling yourself, "Let's go if and the bank will go." Now start calculating. She took shawarma. She took parfait. You start calculating. At the end of the day, you discover that your money didn't lose. Not as if the girl is not a bad girl, but you don't meet her own standard, you don't meet her budget. There are girls that if you take them out, your shop will cost you if you enter the shop because the shop will know that something left a man's pocket. There are girls that just they want to do their hair. They want to do their hair. You'll be wondering, there is this girl that brings weave on for my wife. But there's this one she brought. It was long. So I was asking my wife whether she's going to cut it and be using it different. My wife says she's going to use it. And I asked her, how much is this one? She said, if I tell you now, you start comparing. Just tell me how much is this one? She says it's 700. She's saying 750. She's pricing 600. Just and this one self, they don't fix it. She can just while she's working, you can even somebody can steal it. Just do it like this. The thing has gone. That's the type. I was like, I took my time to study the difference between some of these weavons. I couldn't actually fathom the difference between the cheap one and the expensive one. If you wear it, if it's beautiful on you, you just say this one is beautiful. But it's quite expensive. So when we talk about maintenance, we are talking about knowing your level. Now, there are girls that if they plait their hair, they still look that beautiful. I've never seen a man that said, I married my wife because of the kind of hair she was carrying the day I saw her. It doesn't happen. So we are talking about this maintenance. That's what we're talking about. We are talking about this maintenance. We want you to always have it in mind that any man that wants to grow wealth does not start with extravagant lifestyle. Listen, extravagant lifestyle is the killer of resources, killer of wealth creation. When you want to create wealth, the first thing you do is to cut your clothes. That is what you need to do according to your clothes. You will start cutting your coat according to your clothes so that at the end of the day, with time, that thing you have missed, you can eventually afford them. That is how life is. So now, relationship and finance, they work hand in hand because for relationship to actually work, there is need for finance. And the question now is, what do you do for a living? With Nigeria's economy now, if you don't have tangible thing that brings money, that's why when I see civil servants, I look at them, I pity civil servants who have not started thinking of other means of income because even if you're paid 500,000 a month, and a year is 6 million. That is what it is. It's just that sometimes we don't calculate this thing like that. A year is 6 million. So if you are given 6 million for a year, what are you going to use that for? Okay, let's say for instance that you are paid 1 million for each month. A year is 12 million, isn't it? Can you comfortably take your family on holidays twice a year, at least once a year with that kind of income? You cannot. It's not possible. It's absolutely impossible. So that's why we now decided that while we are teaching people about love, about marriage, there is need for us to also teach them the channels that we have used, and God has blessed us seriously. When we say seriously, people that know us personally know that the Lord has been so faithful to us, and that is to real estate. Real estate. There's this announcement in Anambra State. It became popular a couple of months ago when they are announcing onye bi na ya adị unu enwere ihe ọ na-eme mana ọ na-erisie gị ike gbaa ya ama. It became a very popular slogan. Enwere onye ndị na ya bi onye nọ na saịdị shọpụ gị ọ na-agba ọsọ afịa mana ọ na-erisie gị ike gbaa ya ama. Now, at a point, I started thinking, is it not possible for someone to actually sit at home and make money even without owning a shop and so on and so forth? So that is why when we are now talking about this marriage, when we are talking about this, we are open to tell people the secrets of our own world, of our own state, of our own journey, and that is real estate. And we have made it in a way that it is very clear and open that anybody can come in to the real estate business and a matter of time, the person's life changes automatically and all of a sudden. There was a girl that came to my office, I think that was 2 years ago. She got married with her husband, things aren't going well for them. She came to my office. Then we were doing announcements of properties that we have. So she came and she said she wants to do real estate. As I tried to make her understand that yes, things can change for them. So she told me that she needs flyers. So I printed flyers for her. She was using it, moving it. So when her husband saw it, her husband said, no, my wife cannot do this. She cannot be moving about in the market telling people to buy land. He's not even sure whether the land is genuine or not. So the lady cried to me. She came back. I called the husband on phone. Then I made another move. I used my picture. I did ID card for her. I used my picture. I printed another file. I put my picture there. I said, anybody you meet, tell it because I'm popular there. So I told her, tell the person that I am involved. My phone number, give the person can call me on the phone. And the girl continued. So one day, the girl got a call, and a woman said her brother abroad wants to invest, wants to buy land. And that girl was able to sell 200 plots to earn 10%. And each of these plots was 7 point something million. And that 10% was paid to her. The man and his wife came to my office. The man couldn't say anything. The man said, "Sing your phone, fire and care." Yeah, baby. Real estate is when you least expect it, it can change your life. There was a land that I bought. I bought that land in 2022. I bought it from a family. I bought that land 7 million. Just December last year, a guy building hotel close to the land wants the land. So I told him that I don't want to sell. They kept calling. At the point, the guy said, I want to see you in person. I said, okay. I met with the guy, and the guy said, please, I want this land. Can I give you 100 million? I didn't understand, but I pretended. I said, that land, I don't want to sell it. The land, actually, he wants to buy the two plots. One is not my own, but we are friends. So I'm the one that bought it for myself and my friend. So he wants the two. At the end of the day, I told that my friend. My friend Simon with So eventually the guy bought that land at 120 million for the two of them. 120 million. This is in less than 2 years that we bought that land, 7 million. We are holding 60 million. So real estate, the beautiful thing about real estate is that you don't even have to own a land by yourself. I don't know if you understand. It's not something that you have to own a land. If you don't own a land, you look for someone that have genuine one. Just get somebody who has genuine land, and it becomes your own. You talk with authority, knowing fully well that if you sell, something comes to you. And a lot of time, the problem with many of our people is impatience. You tried it out for some time and it didn't work. You tried it out for some time and it didn't work. You tried it out and it didn't work. And because of that, you have made up your mind that it's not working. Consistency is a winner when it comes to real estate. Somebody say consistency. Listen, don't think nobody is seeing you. If you move out of this hall, go into the reception, move, move like this, move like that. You may think nobody is seeing you. Go naked and move like that. So somebody is paying attention to you. Instead of putting the video in your status, it's not a bad thing, but it will gain nothing. It will gain you nothing. Get real estate, keep posting it. One day somebody will ask you, that land you are posting, is it genuine? Can I see it? Just combine it with God. Keep praying to God. The problem with making it is not, the problem is when you don't have any means at all. If you have a means at all and you're trying to make it, it becomes easier for you than you don't have a means at all. God may look at it and he won't be able to find the area to help you. So that's why when it comes to real estate, it is very, very important that you're consistent. And in our company, we did it in a way that it helps out a lot. For instance, you may not even be the one that sell land. Somebody may sell land, but you get money. So what we'll do is, which my colleagues will explain that to you, we are going to join you in a channel where you can be part of what we are doing and then you succeed with it. Beautiful thing is that we are coming Enugu heavily. We have lands here already and we are coming even more heavier than ever before. So, what am I saying? It is good to find love. It is good to move with this love. There is nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. But before you find love as a man, you need to find money. You need to find money. Money is very, very important. No woman loves a man with empty hand and empty pocket. That love will not stay for a very long time. And as a woman, money is not only for the men. Money is not only for the man. Let's take, for instance, as a young woman, on your wedding night, just after your wedding, during your honeymoon, your husband is tired, you just got married, you dance in the hall and all of that. And now, during the honeymoon, You tell while you're in hotel room, you are resting now, you're already on your 90, trying to open the honey, and you say, okay, baby, hold on, can you close your eyes? I want to show you some. And the guy closes his eyes, and then you pull out an envelope, and you say, open it, and he opens it, and you have land at Transecu, you have land here and there. If that guy's love is 20%, that love will increase to 100%. It will increase to 100%. But our girls, what they do is even after the guy had borrowed money, after the guy has spent money, spent a lot of money on, what do you call it, on the wedding, the girl will still have mind on the first night of the honeymoon. Honey, you know I'm married now. I believe we share me as single girl, and get change here. Akwa m niile m ga-echenji ya, shoe m niile m ga-echenji ya, n'isi onye, n'isi ọga, you know. He may do that because of the excitement of marriage, but it's not easy for him. If you continue to request for that change, listen, let me tell you something. 90% of men who abuse their wives because she has no financial muscle. Men who abuse their wife, first and foremost, they destroy their financial muscle and then they start abusing them. So by the time they start abusing the girl, for instance, after beating the woman, she wants to go back to her father's house. Or she's waiting for the man to come back from market and give her transport money so that she'll enter Keke and go back to her father's house. By the time the man batazi, say, "I'll come here, my friend, they will just go kill fish for her. That's the end of that trouble. She will go home and start using hot water to damp her face. The next day, the man abuses her again. But when a woman is prepared, when a woman has strong financial stature, it is impossible for such a woman to be abused in marriage. Because if you see that the man is becoming violent, what do? You just find a place and give him a little chance first so that he can cool down his head because you can afford it. That is how it happens. For instance, there are girls that if a guy comes to you, the first thing he will ask you is sex. Because even he has looked around, there is nothing else you can offer apart from sex. Your bank account is zero. Your head is zero. Everything about you is zero. The only thing that is 100% is your makeup. Itecha makeup with all the kitchen when they done. You want to done when it comes to makeup. But every other thing is zero. So the only thing that is 100% is seduction. You look so beautiful that no man can look at you without thinking of sex, except the man has the fear of God and self-control. So the guys will keep coming and keep asking for sex. And if you say no, they'll walk away because that is what they think you can offer them. But a situation where, for instance, you have something to offer and guys, they are looking for a woman who can offer beyond their body. As a young woman, one question you ask yourself is, when a man comes to you, is it only his dick, his manhood that stands up? What about his ministry? What about his career? What about his vision? What about his passion? There are girls that the only thing can stand up in a man when a man is wearing them is the manhood of the man. But there are girls that when a man comes close to them, things will jack up apart from the manhood. Prayer life will jack up, prosperity will jack up. A lot of things, visions will start jacking up because the man has come. There are girls, the only thing they have is their physical look. Of course, they are very beautiful. But no woman remains beautiful in the eyes of a man if she can only offer physical beauty. If the only thing you can offer is physical beauty, you cannot remain beautiful in the eyes of a particular man. If you're a beautiful woman and the only beauty you have is the physical beauty, it gets to a point where that your physical beauty means nothing to a man who used to admire you before. You still need people that admire you, you are beautiful. But that particular one that has been there, since the only thing you can offer is that physical beauty, at a point, that physical beauty will wane and the man will no longer see that beauty in you again. This is how this thing works. So as a girl, instead of paying so much attention on putting your eyelid, making up and stuff, pay a little more attention in building yourself to a standard and to a level that when a man asks about you, that is not just asking about you and is not only just your name. There is something attached to you that will make a man look for you. And if a man comes, he will be afraid to ask you for sex because he will think that if he asks you for sex, you may think that he's sleeping around and you run away. There are girls that if a guy walks up to, they're afraid of asking for sex because they want to marry the girl. Because there are girls that if you ask them for sex, they will think that's how you ask other girls. So it is the kind of girl that has the qualities and what you want. Automatically, it is impossible. It doesn't make sense to start asking her for sex because she may leave you. She may not want to do anything with you anymore. So what am I saying? As a girl, don't say that it's the duty of a guy to build himself. In fact, as a young man, I don't advise any young man just marry any girl, just any girl like that. No, you need to know the makeup of that girl. What is she up to? What is she up to? Real estate, I encourage people to go to school. I encourage people to be educated. But real estate, you may not need to become a professor in order to do a realtor business or to become a good real estate guru. You don't need all of that. If you have it, it's fantastic. It will help to boost you. But it's something that just a little, express yourself. You are ready to express yourself and you look good too. Because when you are talking to people, they look at you, they size you, you know, they try to look at you, they try to see if you look what you're saying. But you may not look what you're saying when you are starting, but it will get to a point where you even look much more than what you are saying. So what we are building is we are building organization of people who do not need to tell a man, I want to do my hair. We're building women that their man will ask, Annie, why did you do this hair without even telling me? Are you sure you love me? There are girls like that. Or there are girls that their man will continue postponing doing the hair until the hair has rotted. And there are guys that when the girl eventually, if the girl does the hair, they will continue to shout, wow, 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 like ambulance. Because they don't have what to give the girl. So what I'm saying is that you can be a student and still be a writer. You can be a working class. See, it doesn't stop you from doing the other business you're doing. It's about talking to people. So that because if we continue to focus on just teaching people how to love, things have changed. It is no longer like that. It's maybe in heaven when we get there, maybe you can just be loving without doing anything and you will succeed. But right here, if you're going to love and you're going to be loved, you must. It's a must that you have something you're doing. You have something you're doing and you keep doing it and you succeed with it. Crystal Garden Estate has created that platform, that wonderful platform that a nobody today can automatically become somebody tomorrow. If it's not for real estate, I have to be very, very honest with you. I don't think that some of us will talk with certain authority when other people are talking. No, but real estate can jack you. Imagine somebody who is receiving 200,000 in a month as salary. All of a sudden, you're getting 30 million. How did it come? You sold land. You are not the owner of the land. But 30 million just entered your account. What do you think? What do you think about that? So I want to encourage us because why I'm saying this is that if you choose to ignore this in the next 5 years, maybe you'll be wishing you had done it. The opportunity will still be there because real estate, land doesn't finish. Land continues. Even in this place now, if I want to buy land now, there is land. God is not creating land, yet land doesn't finish. And we have given birth to people, more people need land on daily basis. So that's why real estate business cannot continue. The only thing God is not creating again is land. Yet it cannot finish. So I want you to cue in into what you're doing. Like we said on radio, if you have a business idea, apart from buying and selling, you're an entrepreneur, you can write it down, bring it. If it's something that is worth it, we will sponsor it and see how it goes, as long as you understand it. Money is not a problem. No, it's not. But the most important thing is you need to start gathering the mindset of wealth. I read so many books on wealth, and I discovered that nobody becomes wealthy outside without first becoming wealthy inside. Becoming wealthy starts with the inside. In year 2011, I told my friends that that there is a car I admire then in 2011, that I want to buy that car that year. You know, I told them I want to buy the car. That car is Spider. I want to buy the 2010 model that year. And they were like, the car is too expensive, is this, is that. I said, I'll drive that car. I want to check into government house. By then, members of State House of Assembly were driving that car as the official car. I want to drive it and go there. And these guys were like, it's impossible. March 2012, I bought that Spider. People are still using the car as a big car now. I've thrown it away long ago. Mindset. I try to build that in my mind that it's not a big deal. And I got it then, many years ago. So what I'm saying is, you need to first and foremost convince your subconscious mind. Let it be known to your subconscious mind that you can be wealthy. That you can be wealthy. There is what we call family pattern. There are families that nobody is wealthy in that family. Nobody is wealthy. The richest person there just built four rooms and parlor. N'anya Corolla na ya so na onye a nwere aja ego. Your mindset can separate you from that level. If it's a family pattern, you'll be the one to stop it, that your own generation will not end in that level. I told myself and I told God that I must go global as a person. I cannot just end as a local champion, as a local person. I need to talk to whites, and when I talk to them, I need them to listen. I need to talk to people of different races. This is what I told God. So it's about thinking and believing that you can do it. And when you think and believe you can do it, you start making a step. It's not as if as soon as you say you will talk to white people, God will now put something under your leg and it will lift you, take you to airport, lift you, and you land in American airport and you land inside New York. No, you take a step from your house and you start seeing yourself going there. And one thing I must let you know is that real estate company can take you to that level. No two ways about it. If you like, you can browse about real estate company. Just as that was this month, some of our realtors will sponsor them to Dubai to go and have fun. Our website is there. You can look at it. All expense paid trip. It's possible. Next time they are going to Canada, next time they are going to US, this thing is just possible. And it doesn't take much from you to achieve it. That's the funny thing. Because sometimes people tell you that the reason why they don't have money is that they don't have money to start. If you don't have money to start with idea. Start with your effort. Make a move. And we are giving you a platform here where you can make that move. On the 1st of May, we are coming to Enugu strongly. We are opening one of our big place, our estate here in Enugu. Mbaka is part of us. If you come, you're going to see him there that day. It's going to be awesome. So when that place is opened, when we open that place, we will take over Enugu. So for people who are here, you are like, enweke si ekwu ya n'Igbo, nnụnụ na-anwụ, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. But we're just saying the first people that will enjoy what we're going to do. Because we're going to take over the radios, our essay will take over the radios, we're going to take over the streets of Enugu, and we'll make it very, very easy for you as a realtor. Are you getting me? We'll make it very, very easy for you as a realtor to succeed. Do you understand? We'll make it very, very easy for you as a realtor that when you talk to somebody, they'll say, those people, okay, let's see their land. And from there, you never can tell what happened. Just like I said, we are building an organization where people who has nothing or who start with nothing comes up and becomes something. Your love life is important. The marriage is important. But the question is, when you're married and you have no food to eat, where do you go from there? The question is, you see other people's kids going to good schools and you're marrying children only to suffer them. How do you feel? One of the worst things that can happen to a man in life is watching your children go hungry and you have nothing, no food to give them. If you have ever seen a man is happening to, that man is going through hell. A man may not eat and he will enjoy it. A man may not eat, he won't have any problem with it. But watching his own children to go to bed without food is the worst thing that can happen to any man. For some men, it's better they don't even have children than for such a thing to happen to them. We don't want that to happen to anybody. That's why we are going about telling people the need, even before you start having children, for you to wake up and then make a move and then become something. Listen, there are people that tell you that no man wants to marry me, no girl wants to agree to marry me. No, it's not true. It's not true. There are things that attract a woman. It's the level you get to, it will no longer be no girl wants to marry me. It will become I am confused on who to choose. It's no dignity in begging. Chiche bikonon consider. Consider. A man doesn't need that. If you start the foundation of your relationship or marriage with begging, you beg all through your life. You need to start it with, hello, what I told you, what do you think about it? Also, give me some time, let me think. Because women are wired to wait. That's why every woman, while you're waiting, don't wait in vain. Prepare yourself. As a woman, you're wired to wait for a man to come and talk to you. While you're waiting, prepare yourself so that many suitors will be talking to you. As you are waiting for a man to come, even when the man comes and talks to you, you are still waiting for the same man to propose. Wait for the man. That's why After talking to a woman, at the end of the day, you break her heart. It hurts a woman. But a woman that has many people talking to her, if after talking to her, you break her heart, she moves to the next person. That's why I tell young women, don't chase guys away from your life because of a particular guy. If you are not married, you are not married. I'm not saying you should become extravagant. I'm not saying you should hang out with every guy you see. But a woman is like a cloth in the market. Those who price it, they are not the owner. In our shop back then in ShopRite, where we sell shoes, a man came and saw a particular shoe, and that shoe, I think then in 2017, we are selling that shoe 70 something thousand. The man made deposit of just 20,000, and the sales girl kept the shoe for him, and he said he will come back in 3 weeks' time. We told him 3 weeks is too far. He said, okay, he will come back in a week time. And they kept the shoe for him. In a week time, he came back again and deposited another 20,000 and said he will come back. For the fact that he had made it 2 times does not make that shoe his own. We are still the owners of that shoe. If we choose to sell it, we'll sell it and keep his money for him. So for the fact that a man had come to you and even told you I want to marry you does not even make him your husband. He becomes your husband. That's why when I see some girls who turn themselves to laundering people, why you're not no, you don't need all those things. Wait, that's one of the reasons why guys take many girls for granted because you are doing all these things for them. They are getting the service of a wife for free, even when they haven't married you. So what I'm saying is, as a girl, it's not even because a man is telling you I love you, you're making midnight call with a particular man. Therefore, any other man coming around you is a devil, get out, I'm engaged. No. I'm not saying you should accept, but put the person in the bench. Those who are in the bench, they are not playing football, but they have possibility of entering the pitch to play football. So when you put the person in the bench, and the person is in the bench, if this other person playing gets injury, you will bring the person in the bench and say, oh, yeah, come and play. Let's see if you can score. If the person in the pitch, maybe he didn't get injured, but he's not playing well, he cannot score goal. You still go back to the bench and say, oh yeah, come. Because for the fact that a man has done introduction does not mean that he's your husband. Best friends can become worse enemies tomorrow. I'm not saying that when somebody is serious and you like the person, give the person their attention, but don't love the person with all your heart. The only person you are permitted to love with all your heart is your husband or your wife. As long as that girl is not your wife yet, don't love her with all your heart. Because that's why many people commit suicide when a man leaves them. And that's one of the reasons why we discourage people from having sex before going into marriage itself. Because when you start having sex, you're building endorphins around that person. That as soon as the person says, oh, I don't want again, I don't want to marry you again, it becomes a problem for you. It becomes a very serious problem for you. But the situation where sex is not involved, you know you have lost not much. You can move on. And there is this advice, I don't know where it came from, that a girl should not propose, a girl should not make move. But there is a way a girl should be able to know whether a guy is going to marry her or not. You cannot date a guy for complete 3 years and the guy is saying nothing, and you say as a girl, you cannot start talking about marriage, but the guy is talking about sex. He's bold enough to talk about sex, but you are not bold enough to talk about marriage. If we don't have writing board here, but let me try to describe it with hand. If we look at something here, there is what we call friendship. Friendship. Just see if there are written friendship here. There is what we call a relationship. Relationship is here. There is what we call courtship, and there is what we call marriage.
It starts with friendship. Now, this friendship is just like walking into the shop right and you are seeing you want to buy detergent. They have the one they call Viva, they have the one they call Wow, they have the one they call Cream, they have different ones. So now you have seen them. Not as if you are not condemning Wow, you are not condemning Cream, you are not condemning all this, but something about Viva has attracted you. Maybe the color, maybe the light up. So what you now do is you get the fever. Then when you now go home, what you do? You start studying the fever. First you look at it, okay, you can manage it. What else do you do? You now try to use it to wash your clothes to see what it gives you. That is the friendship level. Now, by the time you have considered it, and you can see that there is sheep at the end of it, there is sheep. Why is there sheep there? The sheep there means that let's assume that you are not comfortable with it. God has made a sheep available for you to live. What is sheep? Sheep is an automobile that can take somebody from one place to the other. So the sheep here means you can live. The sheep here means you can move from friendship to another sheep, which is relationship. That is what it means. So when in friendship, at that point, that person is not exclusively yours. Another guy can talk to you, you can talk to another girl. At that time, you're not paying too much attention to each other until it gets to the level of that relationship. When it gets to the level of relationship, what next do you do? That is when you start knowing that it is possible you and this person may end up as husband and wife. And from that relationship, it will now get to what we call courtship. Courtship is not the time of moving from one bar or one hotel or one mall to the other. It's time of getting to know the person for real. Know the person beyond the physical look of that person. Know the person beyond what the person says. That is when you try to know the person's background. This person, the background of this person. That's when you try to know the background of this person. That's when you try to know things about this person that you don't know before. That's when you try to know it. That's when you try to know it. So that after you have, that's when you try to look at this person. That's when you have the right to go through this person's phone without the person protesting, and the person can go through your own phone without you protesting. Because that is the moment of courtship. Courtship is the time you pay attention to each other. Then the engagement thing. Now, let me tell you something. For the fact that you are engaged does not mean that you are married. You can be engaged. In fact, there was a time we were traveling many years ago. Then I was in the university. We were traveling. We got to somewhere. I don't know, it's somewhere or something where there are people hawking. There's this Hausa guy that was selling ring, and this guy bought 6 engagement rings from him. We were in the same bus with the guy, so he bought 6 different engagement rings. Of course, he's going to give it to 6 girls. And these girls will think they are actually engaged, but they are not. Because engagement is in the heart. Marriage is not in the ring, it's in the heart. Someone can wear a ring and climb another man. A woman can be wearing a ring and she's climbing another man on the bed. And a man can also put on a ring and climb another woman on the bed. You understand? Even there are girls that like guys that wear their marriage rings, you know what I mean? And there are guys that go after women that put on marriage rings. The guys do that too. So it's not about the ring. So for the fact that you are engaged does not necessarily mean that you are not married to the person. Let me show you something with you. The time I met my wife, then she was in the university, and her university, they live inside the university, they locked them up there. But if I even visit her in school then, I will stand with the security man. She will just come. She used to tell them that I'm her brother so that I will be able to entered the school. The Reverend Father, the owner, was that strict. So I have to behave like the brother now. So if she come, I'll just stand, we'll look at each other, we'll not behave like lovers. I will go. So there was a time she now came back from school and she was in their house at her mother. So it was opportunity. She now said I can come to her house. It was, that was like honeymoon for me. So I was so excited. And because of the excitement, I didn't prepare my mind. So I just drove to her house. So when I entered her sitting room, her mother was there, her father was there, her elder brother who came from Australia then, and then the elder sister who just got married, she came with her husband or something. Then I sat in the parlor there. You know, if you got this kind of thing, you know that you will not move your body too much. You just be a gentleman, sit on the seat, you don't shake anyhow. So I was just sitting, I wasn't looking around. My eye was just fixed on the TV. So I didn't know when the mother left, the brother left, everybody, including my wife, left there. It was just me and her father. And when I came in, I greeted the father, he didn't talk to me, he was reading newspaper. So I don't, when the man now asked me, who are you? I didn't know how to introduce myself. I didn't even know what to say. Because that wasn't what I didn't prepare myself for that. I now just told the man, Musinachi, and the man was like, what did you come to my house to do? I say, Amarachi is my friend. And I said, which kind of friend? We are hoping to get married. When? Do you know that I fixed the date of my traditional marriage without even telling my mother or my people that I found someone I want to marry? Because if you see the man, it will look like the man will eat me that says something he doesn't want to hear. Do you understand? Because the man was this a mean kind of very huge and a mean kind of person. So I have to feel, that's where I come in to let you know that there are girls that hide their relationship from their father, but they keep telling their mother everything. When the girl have, listen, let me tell you something. It takes two people to give birth to somebody, a man and a woman. If you're mature enough to be in a relationship, don't hide it from your dad. Let your dad know about it. If somebody is asking for your hand, somebody is in a relationship with you, and you happen to tell your dad, your the boyfriend, that my dad say he would like to meet you. If the guy is not serious, he will run away. They will not want to meet your father because they know that when it comes to your dad, it becomes a serious business. For the mothers, what you just be hearing, like if it's my girl's mother, what you just hear, when they listen more, they like ofe egusi. That would be hard because women, they are naturally gifted, they are born to care. That's why they start caring from the beginning. They carry the baby in the womb for months. You know what it means? Even if you're asked to hold your phone for 9 months without dropping it, you cannot. This little phone, as little as it is, and you ask, okay, hold it in your hand. Don't drop it for 9 months. You can do that. It's impossible. When somebody carries a baby in the womb for good 9 months, and after 9 months, she now carried the baby, breastfeed the baby, continue taking care of the baby. So even when she is now supposed to rest, a man now comes. She will now start the business again of taking care of her husband, calling her husband baby again, treating the husband like baby again. So women naturally, their thing is to care. So for a woman, her interest, for a mother, her interest would be how to care for that person. That's automatically her interest. But fathers, they don't care about. They want to know you. They know your tricks, so they will go to your tricks and destroy it. So don't destroy their daughter. So that's how this thing works. And if you even buy good rapper when you are going, what you hear is onye cinema no amarachi, Holy Ghost. That's what you hear. That's women for you. But men don't think like that. So what I'm saying is that you cannot be in a relationship for so many years and you're waiting for the guy to propose. It's just like I don't know. They have a Holy Ghost terminal station in Park here. It's just like going to the Holy Ghost. You enter a vehicle by 5 a.m. The next vehicle, people entered and they left. Another one, people entered and they left. And you're still inside the vehicle you entered at Holy Ghost 5 a.m. 9 a.m. The vehicle hasn't gone, and vehicles are leaving. It's a foolish person that will continue to be riding inside that vehicle. What you're supposed to do is to step out and then enter the one that is moving. So that's exactly what so many girls are suffering because of the fact that they are designed to wait. They wait for a man to talk to them, they wait for a man to propose, they wait for a man to marry them. But things have changed to a level because we now discover that many guys now say that girls wait for them and they're taking advantage of that. So they keep doing whatever they want to do, and the girls keep waiting. So what we're not teaching girls is you may not propose, but you can ask questions. You can bring tricks. For instance, you're dating a guy, and you tell the guy, you can imagine what happened. I went to the village. I don't know, my mother has arranged a very cute guy for me for marriage. Imagine. The guy is loaded and the guy is cute. Oh, baby, what do you think? Should I marry the guy? You listen to him and hear his response. It's not a sin for a girl to ask a guy who have been together for some years now, for some months now, where are we heading to? Are we getting married or we are brother and sister? You can be brother and sister without knowing it. There are people, in church, maybe it's a brother in the church. He hasn't even talked to you. He hasn't even said, I want to marry you, but you're thinking that he will marry you because he's close to you. He buys you parfait, he buys you shawarma, he buys you stuffs, and you think this guy is going to marry you. But he hasn't proposed. And when the announcement comes that our brother Christian, is getting married to Sister Mary, and you start crying after waiting for you, after all I have done for you, after wasting my time. He didn't talk to you. Did he propose to you? Did you ask Christian? Did you talk to him? Or you're busy wearing the same uniform coming for youth fellowship? And because he has given you a ring, he's using engagement ring to do shakara. If you're a girl listening to me tonight, don't accept engagement ring from any man until the traditional marriage date is fixed. You can accept, but don't wear. Because engagement ring is a trap. It means you belong to a particular man. And every other man, what is saying that every other man should keep up? So people are so careless about it. If somebody can just say, and the funny thing is that these things, they have very cheap ones now. And if you have 3,000, you can buy one and keep it there for years. If he proposes and he brings a ring, if you like him, fine, take it. But tell him, honey, I'm not going to put this shit on until the card is out. When I see the card, I will understand. But for now, let's just know that we are engaged. Let's just know that we are engaged. That's the way this thing has to be. And I'm thinking, as a guy, when you are starting a relationship with a girl, just be sincere enough. Let the girl know who you are. No pretense. Don't take yourself to a level where you're not. When I was dating my wife, in all honesty, I didn't take her out throughout the period of 8 months that we dated before we got married on the ninth month. The 8 months we dated, I didn't take her out, we didn't hang out. But as soon as after I married her, we started traveling together, started hanging out together. The reason is this: there are people, when they see a girl they like, they become who they are not. You take her to the most expensive restaurant. If you marry her, are you going to maintain it or not? If you cannot maintain it, don't start. Lying to a girl is not opening your mouth to lie to her. Your activities around her and your actions can be a lie. When it comes to marriage, if it's just girlfriend and boyfriend, You know you want to smash and get out. Yeah, that's lie. Even the smash is lie too. But when you are serious, you know this thing is going for marriage. You know this thing is going to end together. No lie can hold water for a long time if it's going to be marriage. Because people may pretend, but in marriage, it will show. You see some girls, you're dating them, anytime you see they're putting on white pants, no stay, no nothing. You see the guys, they're putting on white boxes. If you see the guy, his toilet is as if nobody's using it. His room, everything is arranged. But when you now marry the girl that wears white pants 247, one day you enter your room and now look at your room. You're seeing tear pants hanging in your window. You look at the back of your door, another tear pants. And you're wondering, is it not the same person that was wearing white pants all through? You don't enter the water system, you want to make use of comfort station, and you discover that she had used the toilet without washing it. It's perfect being. So that is to tell you that many relationship is built on lies. When you go into a relationship, go the way you are. Just go the way you are. What is there? Again, you're going to marry. What is there? Making the food in your house and eating it with her there. What's there? What's there that if you cannot afford bottled water, what's there if you buy pure water and pour it inside bottled water and let her know this is how you want it, package it, and you guys can eat it together? What's there? So what am I saying? Number one, be sincere. Don't go about lying. Your father is the owner of any car, their roads, goods only. Lie. If the girl loves your father and doesn't love you, let him go and marry your father. Be yourself. The most important thing is that there is an open door we are presenting to you. Whatever your father is, you can become better than him. Whatever your mother is, you can become better. And it's a course that you will have your wife and have your children, and your father will in turn, after training you, come back and start training your children for you. It's not from God. God has destined everybody to succeed. But the Bible says you must have a handwork. This handwork is what God is waiting to bless. And we have presented a handwork to you. And this is a trusted company. We are coming to this town like a bulldozer. And we are happy you're part of the beginning. And I want to see you in the other side after some maybe months, and I can shake your hand because you've got some command like we do now. But the fact that we got this command doesn't mean we are stopping. We will continue to push. There's a level we want to get to. We have not gotten half of that, and we are still doing our best together. So Crystal Garden Estate is a trusted estate. We want you to join this organization, not just to bless yourself, to bless your generation. Because what we're doing is generational success. We're not after your success because we know that for you to succeed, we can give you money and say, take this money, go do this, take this money, take care of yourself. But that's not what will make you succeed. What will make you succeed is when you acquire the wealth that your children can build on it and continue to build on it. Thank you very much. I hope you sign up with Crystal Garden Estate and God everyone. God bless you.